Morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning.
Are you ready for your hearing?
Yes, I'm ready for my hearing.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
Can you just turn it down just a little?
Yes,
It's
yes.
really loud. Thank you.
Yep. Good morning. My name is Parole Officer Michelizzi. Today is Thursday, February 13th, 2025, and this is the hearing of the Connecticut Board of Pardons and Paroles. The following board members are present this morning and by stating their names on the record, certify that they have reviewed all statutorily required documents and available pertinent information in preparation of this hearing.
Good morning. I'm Panel Member Barry.
Good morning.
Ms. Zappa?
Ellen Zappo Sasson. Nancy Turner.
All right.
Sir, please state your name and inmate number for the record.
Jasmine Brown, my inmate number is 37354.
Thank you. This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Jasmine Brown, number 387354. He is serving a sentence of 3 years flat for a violation of probation with an underlying sex assault second. As of today, the records reflect a parole eligibility date of November 27th of 24. There is no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and shows that the offender has completed the following programs. Tier 2, and he's currently participating in Voices and Smart Recovery, and he holds a facility job. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender's overall score falls within the very high range risk for recidivism. Utilizing the static 99R, the offender's overall score for sexual offense recidivism falls within the moderate high range. Mr. Brown, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
Okay, I have a letter right here that I would like to read. Is that okay?
That's fine. Thank you.
All right, Dear Parole, I want to apologize for my actions when I left the Sierra house pre-trial. I was scared for my safety, and at the time I didn't know where else to turn. I told the staff about the threats I was getting, but nothing was done to help me. I was being threatened by other people, and I felt like I had no choice but to leave before something worse happened. Looking back, I know leaving was not the right decision, and I'm sorry for that. I understand that when things get tough, I need to speak to someone in a higher position who can make sure something gets done right away. I can't let myself make impulse decisions like that again. I've been on my medication and it's really, hold on. Medication and it's really helping me to think more clearly and keep myself steady. I'm committed to staying on my medication because I know they help me manage my bipolar disorder, avoid the trouble, and make better decisions. I'm also planning to keep attending groups, sessions, to continue working on myself, and I'm improving my behavior. I just want you to know that I'm trying and I'm learning to handle situations better. Thank you for your time and understanding. And
Thank you very- Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
and I got my certificate for the AA and NA meeting right here.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing that with us and for preparing for today's hearing. So we're going to ask you some questions. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in your opening statement, you said that you were, you left the halfway house because you felt like your life was in jeopardy?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they was threatening me and stuff. Yeah,
Why would they be threatening you?
because we had got an argument over something petty over a game, and they was mad about it. That I was wondering something like that, and then they got upset because we got in a heated argument, and then they started making threats toward me, talking about they was gonna beat me up. They talking about, oh, I'm gonna have a hard time in the Sierra program trial. I'm gonna have a hard time there. I'm gonna have a hard 6 months. So you better be prepared. This, that, and the third. They were just making like threats. They were singing rap songs towards me that was threatening me, like talking about they were gonna shoot me, all types of stuff. Like it was like little minor threats.
Okay. So tell me, the facility aside, what were you doing? What role were you playing in all of this?
The role I was playing in it, I was arguing back, but I wasn't making threats though. I was just huh?
So were you being compliant while you were in there? Were you going to treatment like you were supposed to?
Yes,
ma'am. It doesn't
Yes,
say
ma'am.
that you were though, sir. It
Yes,
says,
ma'am.
okay. So you have a difficult time though, following the rules when you're out in the community. Is that fair to say?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
So what steps do you intend to take when you're released out this time so that you don't get into any more trouble?
It's the main thing is on my medication. I'm gonna stay on my meds. That's the only thing that be holding me back that's how I get in trouble when I go off, because I go off my medication, and that's how I get into trouble. So the first thing I'm gonna do is stay on my meds, attend groups, get a job, and then stay focused and stay close to home, and like deal with cut people off, like the circle I had before, like stay away from drugs. Stuff like that. Stay away from
Were you
people that
doing drugs when you were
drugs.
out? Were you doing drugs when you were out in the community this last time? Is that why you
Yes.
left the halfway house?
No, I wasn't using drugs when I was in the halfway house. No. When I left, I did. When I left, I did.
You knew that you weren't supposed to be doing that though.
Yeah.
So Mr. Brown, here's the long and short of it. You violated this period of probation twice already. You know that, right?
Yes.
You weren't registering as a sex offender on the registry. You weren't. Go ahead.
They told me I was supposed to register over the phone. I called over the phone twice. I called over the phone to register, but I didn't know I had to go down there to register. They said I gotta go down. I figured out afterwards when I got arrested that my lawyer told me I had to go down to Middletown to register. I can't do it over the phone. I did it over the phone.
So tell us why you were in New York.
Why? Because I like it out there better because.
So, Mr. Brown, you can't, listen to me. You weren't supposed to be, you went on the run, you went to another state, and you received another sentence, right? You got into a fight when you were out there.
Yes.
And you were scared that they were going to beat you up in the halfway house. You go to New York, you get into another fight, and then you come back to Connecticut, you're in the prison, and you fight again.
Yeah.
You see the common denominator here with all this violence?
Yeah, because it has to do with going off my medication. That's why it has to do with that. Not taking my meds. That's why I said at first I just want to be on my medication and stay on my meds and stay compliant with my treatment.
Well, you can't take your medication, Mr. Brown, and mix it with Molly and alcohol and e-pills.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm staying away from drugs and all that. I'm not using nothing. I'm
Can I
staying
tell
on
you
straight
something,
medication.
Mr. Brown?
Huh?
Well, can I tell you something?
Yes, ma'am.
It's really difficult to support your discretionary parole, sir, and there's a number of reasons. You rate out very high. That means that you're probably going to come back to prison. You have a history of violence. You've been on supervision before and you have not done well. And you're admitting that you struggle with your substance abuse, even though you've participated in treatment. And when you were out in the community, you were in treatment. All of those things combined, and that's not even talking about the mental health piece. It's very difficult for us to support your discretionary parole when we don't have a lot of confidence that you're going to complete it successfully. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Ms. Turner?
So, Mr. Brown, you finish this sentence next year, about a year from now.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you don't have to deal with anybody other than the sex offender registry, because you're on that for life. You absconded 15 days after you were re-released from your last violation of probation. And that's why you got a flat sentence, because you clearly don't want the support and the supervision in the community. So wouldn't you rather just finish your sentence and go out and not be bothered?
Not really. I wanted to go home early because, like, I'm tired of jail. I know in my heart and my mind and my body is tired of jail. Like, I don't want to be here no more. I'm tired of this. I've been doing jail since I was a young youth. Since 12, 11, I've been doing jail. Even before that. And I'm tired of jail. Like, I really know this time that I'm ready to do the right thing, get a job, stay on my medication, and do the right thing.
All right. So, Mr. Brown, you didn't take any programs when you were incarcerated for the sexual assault, and now you've taken the Voices program. Can you tell me what you think the impact on the victim was of what you and your co-defendant did to her?
The impact was that, like, she could be scarred for life, like, and that wasn't the right thing, that, because she was a minor, feel me? And we should have knew better than that, because we older, and...
Well, and she wasn't consenting. So, you know, she was also under, you know, as you pointed out, underage, but she wasn't consenting. And you were using drugs and alcohol to manipulate her.
Yeah.
So you scarred for life. What else do you think you did to her?
Like, messed up her relationship with her family, like, as far as, like...
All that coming out?
Yeah. Mess
Maybe
with
they're afraid of men, maybe?
yeah, probably, yeah.
Uh-huh.
With them,
Hard to trust people.
yeah, hard to trust people and stuff like that. And like,
Was any of that fair to her?
no.
Why'd you do it?
Why? Because I was under the influence and I was under the influence of e-pills and I was just like, I was horny and
But you were using for a while. Did you do this to other people?
no.
So what brought it about? Was it the relationship you had with Mr. Watson? Were you trying to prove yourself to him?
Yeah, basically like that was like my best friend and like we had a lot of history together, like we had a lot of history like playing basketball together. I had first met him on Bunker Hill.
Well, now you have a whole lot of other history with him. You need to choose better friends, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's why I said I'm cutting everybody off that I had ties to. I'm trying to start a new circle, like go to groups, stuff like that, stay on my meds. Completely.
Have you ever done NA or AA in the community?
Now, I never been to AA or NA in the community, but I tend to do that.
You need to build a support network for yourself, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Positive people.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. Ms. Apple?
Yes. Mr. Brown, can you talk a little bit about what your release plan looks like? I share the concerns about the flat sentence, and without you having appropriate supervision, you do need a lot of services upon your release. What have you put in place already that you're thinking about?
I'm thinking about going to a halfway house and starting from there, and then like starting like getting a doctor, counseling for my mental health trauma, and the doctor for my medication, and applying for my Social Security again, applying for my medical expense again, and that's like staying close to home and going to groups. What else? Just staying focused and maintaining a healthy lifestyle and staying away from bad people that's trying to get me in trouble. And that's like stay with my mom and my friend from New York. That's like stay in contact with them because that's my support system. So whenever I'm having a hard time or something like that, I just call upon them, or if I get in any trouble or something like that, just call upon them. They can like guide me and direct me towards things, and that's about it. That's all I say.
So in terms of your support in the community, you mentioned your mother, but we also did read some reports about how your childhood was not very easy for you, and there were a lot of challenges. Is your mother in a better place than she was back then, or is this another woman that you're referring to as your mother?
Now, my mother's at a better place. She more involved in my treatment. She more for my treatment. She's the one that told me I should stay on my meds and stop drinking and stop using drugs. Like, she's trying to encourage me to stay focused. I've been talking to her. I talk to my mother every day. I text my mom every day, like 4 times a day over the phone. We communicate with each other, and she want me to stay home and stay out of trouble. Like, she want me to stay out of trouble and stay away from bad people that's trying to get me in trouble and stuff like that. She's at a better spot in her life than before. Like, she's more involved with me than she was back then.
Okay. And you think that with her support and your friend and putting a plan in place that you would stay compliant with your meds if you were in the community this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good luck to you, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Ms. Apple. So, Mr. Brown, we're going to deliberate now. Just, you can listen, but don't interrupt, okay?
All right.
So, I do not have Mr. Brown voted to discretionary parole. His rating out very high is concerning to me. The fact that he has been on this probation for a number of years and has not been able to complete it successfully due to his non-compliance and his criminal history, honestly, is concerning. So for those reasons, I could not support discretionary parole. Ms. Turner?
I do share your concerns, Madam Chair. However, Mr. Brown has serious mental health issues. He's got anger issues, and those combined with his substance use lead to these criminal and non-compliance acts on his part. And I feel like this would afford him 1 year of supportive supervision to get him on the right path so that he can get his mental health needs addressed in the community. He can get in compliance with the sex offender registry. He can connect to providers, settle into a halfway house, and begin a life plan. So I feel like it's imperative that he has the period of transition. I would have liked to have seen him take additional programming, but he's past his 50% date already at this point.
Yes. Ms. Apple?
I agree with my colleague. I would really like to see him have some discretionary supervision during that period, because I think he needs to have so many pieces set up that I don't think that any of them would be effective if he was to do it on his own.
So I do understand your concerns, and so for conditions, I do have no alcohol, problem sexual behavior treatment, no minors, halfway house, mental health treatment and medication compliance. There's an underlying victim and an underlying co-defendant. Anything else?
And I'd like enhanced device monitoring,
Okay.
given what the circumstances of the underlying sexual assault were.
Anything else? I move that Jasmine Brown 387354 be granted discretionary parole by majority decision on or after today's date, which is February 13th, 2025, with the following conditions in addition to the standard parole conditions. He is to have consume no alcoholic beverages, he'll participate in problem sexual behavior treatment in the community, is to have no contact with minors without the parole officer's permission. He will be monitored. His electronics will be monitored, enhanced monitoring. Sorry about that for the wording. And halfway house for residential placement and mental health treatment and medication compliance. Also, no contact with their underlying victim, initials VB, and no contact with their underlying co-defendant, Braxton Watson. Did I say everything? There's a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Nay. So I'm voting on the minority. The record will reflect that I am opposed to early release. And Mr. Brown, you'll receive all of this in writing shortly, okay?
All right, thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
Yeah.
This is the hearing for Jasmine Brown, number 387354.
I'm all set.
You're all
All
set.
set, sir.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
All right.
Don't be hungry.